Have you ever played hide-and-seek and felt that sudden, chilling dread that you weren't just hiding from your friends? That maybe, just maybe, something else was seeking you? Tonight, we're diving into 3 true, terrifying stories from people who played a simple game that turned into a fight for their lives. Stywiet mud they found, or what found them. Story 1. The Man in the Closet. Our first story comes from a woman named Clara, who was babysitting her 2 young nephews. To keep them entertained, she suggested a game of hide-and-seek inside their large, old house. Clara was the seeker. She found the first nephew giggling under the kitchen table. But the second, a quiet boy named Sam, was nowhere to be found. She checked all the usual spots, behind the curtains, under the beds. In the pantry, nothing. Finally, she remembered the spare bedroom end of the hall, a room the family rarely used. The door was slightly ajar. As she pushed it open, she called out, "Sam, I'm coming to get you." The only closet in the room had its door shut tight. Thinking he must be inside, she smiled and walked toward it. She placed her hand on the knob, ready to swing it open and shout, "Found you." But just as she did, a low, guttural whisper came from inside. It wasn't Sam's voice. It was deep, raspy, and it said, "We're in here." Clara froze, her blood turning to ice. "We?" she thought. Before she could process it, the doorknob began to turn slowly from the inside. She didn't wait to see who or what was in there. She snatched her other nephew and ran out of the house, calling the police from a neighbor's phone. When they arrived, they found the closet empty. But Sam was found hiding under his own bed in his room, sobbing. He said he saw a tall man with long, dirty fingers go into the spare room, so he ran and hid. The man in the closet was never found. Clara never babysat at that house again. Story 2. The extra player. Next, we head to a summer camp in the woods of Oregon. A group of teenagers decided to play a massive game of hide-and-seek after dark, using only flashlights. The camp counselor, Mark, agreed it would be fun and set the boundaries. Don't go past the creek. Mark was it. The woods were alive with the sounds of crickets and rustling leaves as he began his search. He found a few kids quickly, their muffled laughter giving them away. But as he went deeper, he started to feel uneasy. He heard footsteps that didn't belong to the kids he was chasing. He'd see a flicker of movement in the corner of his eye, but when he'd swing his flashlight, there was nothing there. One by one, all the kids were found and gathered back at the campfire, except for one girl, Emily. The group started calling her name, their voices echoing in the silent woods. That's when they heard it. A high-pitched giggle, coming from beyond the creek, from the area that was off-limits. Mark, now genuinely worried, told the others to stay put as he crossed the shallow water. "Emily, this isn't funny," he yelled. The giggling continued, leading him further into the darkness. Suddenly, he saw her silhouette, standing near a large oak tree. He sighed in relief, but as he got closer, he noticed something was wrong. Her shape was distorted, taller, thinner, as his light hit her. It wasn't Emily. It was a gaunt figure with unnaturally long limbs, and it let out a sound that was not a giggle, but a dry, rattling hiss. Mark screamed and sprinted back to camp. At that exact moment, Emily walked out from behind the main cabin, asking what all the yelling was about. She'd fallen asleep in a hammock and never even joined the game. The counselors did a head count. Everyone was accounted for. So, what was playing with them in the woods? Story 3. Don't hide in the barn. Our final story takes place on an old family farm in rural Iowa. 2 brothers, Jake and Leo, were playing hide-and-seek on a lazy Sunday afternoon. Their parents had always given them one rule: never hide in the old, dilapidated barn at the edge of the property. It was structurally unsafe, they said. But Jake, being the older and more rebellious brother, decided it was the perfect hiding spot. He was the hider, and as his younger brother, Leo counted to 100. Jake slipped into the dark, dusty barn. The air was thick with the smell of hay and decay. He found a stack of old tarps in a corner and crawled underneath, confident his brother would never find him. Minutes turned into what felt like an hour. Leo should have found him by now. Just as Jake was about to give up, he heard the creak of the barn door. Finally, he thought. He held his breath, waiting for Leo to find him. But the footsteps he heard were heavy, too heavy for his little brother. They were slow, deliberate, wrist-nastam drag thump. Drag asterisk. They were getting closer to his hiding spot. Jake's heart hammered against his ribs. He peeked through a tiny hole in the tarp. He saw a pair of large, but they were dragging something à burlap-sac. The figure stopped right in front of him. Jake could hear ragged, heavy breathing. Then, a voice, deep and chillingly calm, spoke into the silence. "I know you're in there." It rumbled. "It's my turn to hide now." Jake didn't move a muscle. The figure then dropped the heavy sack with a sickening thud and dragged it up a ladder into the hayloft above. Jake waited until he couldn't hear any more movement, then scrambled out from under the tarp and ran faster than he ever had in his life. He found Leo crying by the house, saying he got scared and stopped looking. Jake never told his parents what he saw, but for the rest of his life, whenever he passed that barn, he couldn't shake the feeling that something was still up in that hayloft, waiting for its turn to seek. And there you have it. 3 games that started with innocent fun and ended in pure terror. It makes you wonder what's really watching when you close your eyes to count. If you enjoyed these stories and want to hear more chilling true encounters, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, stay safe and maybe stick to board games.